He's like, man, you're screwing me. There was debris piled up all the way around this property. And then it started coming off the rails. And I said, I do not want to be the bad guy. We check a few simple things. We're like, dude, you're not even close. I pulled the freaking plug. But you have to remember, these subcontractor relationships, it's just like, what's up, guys? I am out here at the Zen Den, and let me be honest, things have been a little squirrely for the past couple weeks. We had to let our foundation contractor go. I want to do a video over it. I think it's going to be great to just get into this. Obviously, this business is very heavy into subcontractor relationships, hiring, firing, all that stuff, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So in this video, I want to just go over like what's gone down to get us to this point. How did we get ourselves into this situation? How are we working out of it? I want to give you guys some tips on how to avoid this in the future, or at least how to identify the red flags that come up to know when to pull the plug, okay? So first off, let's look around this site. It is looking a million times better. A massive red flag for anyone is a messy, nasty site, and I freaking hate it because it clouds up your mind. It just makes everything so much more stressful. You come out here, you know, you're bringing out high-end architects, clients, potential buyers, and they're going to see this nasty site. So for freaking weeks, there was debris piled up all the way around this property. All the spoils were just piled up. He had a freaking pile of trash and garbage, and I'm like, dude, get this damn site cleaned up. And it was just something that was ignored. So now we've hired a site cleanup team. They have their Bobcat. They're working all the way over there, getting all this scraped, getting all the spoils kind of in one pile. We have a bunch of heavy landscaping that needs boulders. So this is actually awesome because a lot of these boulders just came out where we had to excavate. So we're going to use these boulders in our landscaping. They look awesome. It's going to save us a bunch of money. So a clean site. That's one thing. A good contractor will always have a clean site. And now there is some onus that the general contractor has to take in cleaning up a site, right? But when you're doing a foundation, the stuff that you're pulling out, that's called the spoils, you have to take care of that. That is not on us, okay? We have our own site cleanup teams for things outside of trades responsibilities, but site cleanliness, one, you know, the same thing. When you have an inspector come through, and he sees a nasty site, he's like, man, these guys just don't give a you know, and that's what it screams, right? So like, that's your one red flag. The second one is there is usually some type of situation that pops up, you know, oh, I lost all my guys, or oh, my tools got stolen. You know, I mean, that sucks, right? Like some of those situations are mistakes and they're outside of guys' control. And I hate it, right? But if that's going to affect the performance of our job, we have to make a decision. In this case, the old contractor, his guys, they were all out partying, I guess. They were in one of his work trucks. And then, you know, the truck got impounded, the tools got stolen. And it was just this like thing after thing of these setbacks, and people weren't showing up. That's the next thing. You know, one of these events happens and then the work starts to slow down. Okay, we started off with a bang. We got all of our forms laid out. We did all the measurements. You know, we got all this dug here for our guest house. It started off with a bang, and then it started coming off the rails, okay? And that's when you have to pay close attention. Now, what I did, and I think is a very important thing to do, is you draw a line in the sand. I told this contractor, if this job site was not 100% ready by last Friday, that I was going to replace him. And I said, I do not want to be the bad guy. I told him that a week in advance. He was like, I'm going to get it done. What happens? He's not showing up the whole time. He's there sporadically, right? But he's got these different guys working on the site, okay? These are not his main guys, so he already doesn't have the control. He's not micromanaging them, which you need to micromanage different guys, right? Guys that you don't work with normally. And then what's happening? Work is being done, but it's not being done correctly. So let me show you a few things. These are called corner bars, okay? These bars will go in the corner like an L. It'll basically be like that in that corner, or for here, it'll be like an L over there. They're all supposed to be a certain type of rebar, thickness and length. He comes in, they get all this steel installed across the whole entire site. The corner bars are completely wrong. The next thing, beam depth. So these are our grade beams right here, okay? these trenches in the slab. We talk about this all the time in our videos. They have to be 30 inches deep per the engineering plans. These freaking beams, once you put in the rebar, they were sitting directly on the ground and we didn't have 30 inches. You have to have a certain number of clearance above your rebar, and then the rebar can never sit on the ground. It has to be on these bricks. Those are called dobies. You see them over there? It has to be on these bricks. So we got in all this rebar. He was like, we're ready, call the engineer. We come out here, we check a few simple things. We're like, dude, you're not even close. I pulled the freaking plug. That was last Friday. Obviously, tough conversation. He's like, man, you're screwing me and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, I need to be honest, like, get that out of your mouth. I'm not screwing you. You got yourself in this situation. Here's the thing. I like our last guy. He was a friend. He'd done a couple jobs for me previously, but you have to remember these subcontractor relationships. It's just like a regular relationship with a girlfriend or a wife. Like it's a give and take. It's a symbiotic relationship. If they're not doing their job and I'm not doing my job, this relationship doesn't work. If I'm not paying people, why would they work for me? They should quit the job. If I'm not getting the work that I contracted, I need to end that relationship. And I'm so glad I did, because now we got a kick-ass crew out here. They're pulling all this freaking rebar. They cleared out our beams. We had to chip out concrete. We had to fix all of this stuff, right? So now that we're doing that, we're getting back on track, okay? Then coming through here, we not only have to do this slab, we're raising this about 5 inches. What's up, Derek? What's up? Pretty meta video guy getting filmed. But so we have to get piers in. So we're gonna have to dig holes. We're gonna use those cardboard sonotubes. And you see the rebar that's kind of spooled up there in like that circular pattern. We have to put piers in for our deck over there. We have to put piers in over there that our floor trusses are gonna sit on for the addition. Then we have to do piers all throughout the back that's going to hold up our deck. So there's a bunch of work that has to get done. And the fact that he was thinking we're going to be 100% done by last Friday. We have 3 new crews in. 1 for site cleanup, 1 for excavation, and then 1 for all of our concrete, right? It's going to take them 2 full weeks to get back on track. But here's the lesson, okay? It sucks. The breakup sucks. I feel bad every time. Unless someone blatantly like screws me or like steals from me, it feels bad. Like any breakup feels bad, right? Like he had these setbacks that were out of his control. He could have done a better job, sure, but here we are, right? Getting through that, as uncomfortable as it might be, you have to think of the bigger picture. Now we can get all this crap done, okay? I could have listened to the sob story. It's like with the girlfriend that keeps cheating on you. Oh, take me back. I'm going to change. And then you take her back, and what happens? Now you've wasted more time. You get cheated on again, and you're the idiot. Right? He was begging for me to let him finish, you know, for his reputation. He doesn't want to leave a job like this, our relationship. And I'm like, dude, I need to cut my losses. And that right there, y'all, is the biggest and best decision you can make. There is a time when it's there. If you miss that gap, I'd be screwing around with this for another 2 months. And then I might be in the same situation where I have to let him go and rehire someone, right? So, moral of the story is, see the red flags. It starts with site cleanliness, guys showing up on time, following directions, doing things the right way, acting like they're ready when they're not. When these red flags come up, you can give people a couple chances. There's people that make honest mistakes, but draw that line in the sand. Last Friday, if he wasn't done, if he wasn't ready, he's gone. And you stick to it. And I'm super proud of myself for that. I'm honestly very frustrated for getting into this situation, but what can you do? This is what happens. Now we got guest house here. It's going to be all retaining walls. There'll be trusses over that. Coming this way, this is what I'm talking about for that master suite addition. Pool will start to be dug there. That's going to actually come out of the ground. All these floor trusses will be put here to raise the floor. We have to pour that section of the front porch and then break those forms, and then we'll come over here and pour that section. There's a bunch more work we have to do, and we need to get it done, and we're going to keep moving forward. So anyways, I hope you guys can find this helpful and just kind of understand that, like, nobody's perfect. I mean, No matter how big of a company you build, you're going to have some bad apples. You're going to get into some bad relationships. When it's your fault, there's two reasons. Hiring someone without a good track record, without previous work, without reviews, without referrals, without having done a previous job by you, you know, you're open to a situation coming up because you don't know that person yet. But even after working with people for years, they can get sideways on a job. And once it goes sideways, you gotta be in there. You gotta put your foot down. And if it's not going the direction you wanna go, you need to make it go the direction you wanna go. You need to pull the plug, get rid of them, save yourself time and pain. You heard it here. Don't let it happen to you.